G'day guys, Brendan here from On Point Adventures, and today I want to just quickly introduce to you a product that I've managed to find that I think revolutionises the way we drone fish. Now, so often we're hearing of people complaining about losing sinkers and so forth because they're snagging up on the bottom, they can't get it up off the bottom quick enough, they're bringing the fish in and the sinker's trailing down below so it catches and they lose their fish. Well, I've found a sinker that actually eliminates 99% of that. The way this sinker is designed is like no other sinker you've seen. Sure, it may look a bit like a grapnel, but it's what the actual design and the length of the product does that makes this product so different. This product is not made of lead. No, more made out of plastic. It still has the grapnel feet. It's got an awesome little casting system, which I will run you through. But I'm not using it for casting, I'm using it for droning. And that is this, DaSinker. I'll put a link below. Now, just before we go any further with this is not a sponsored, endorsed or anything video. This is simply a product that I've found that I think works very, very well. Now, let me show you why this works. So essentially, DaSinker is designed as a long distance hybrid casting system, and as you can see on that picture there, you can see a little muley caught up in the sinker. Let's show you how they did that. So when you open your DaSinker, this is what you get. This is the 5 ounce. They do it in a range of ounces. I use the 5 and 6. You get a plastic sinker essentially with weights in the bottom here, ring around your grapnel feet, and this long bed here. But this bed here captures something that's a little more interesting. Let me show you. Once you pull off the plastic ring, you're going to notice this little hole right in here. Now, I know the GoPro is not going to focus on that well, but it is what it is. Inside here is a little piece of foam that what it's designed to do, and this is quite clever. You drop fish oil or tuna oil, or in my case, I love aniseed, into that hole, which drops onto the sponge, which creates a natural burley trail coming from your sinker. That's right, now we can burley from our sinker and it brings a fish to them. Now, I said this was going to be revolutionary for drone fishing, but why? The way they've designed this sinker with this fantastic long scoop here, when you start retrieving that sinker and it kicks up, it coasts straight to the surface. And I'm talking this thing will jump on the surface within about 10 meters of winding and will skip along the surface the whole way in. That's what makes this brilliant. Straight away, it's up out of that reef zone and coasting above. And remember, once this breaks the surface, you've got less resistance. So your wind in is a whole heap easier. That's why this sinker is great for droning. And that's why I've been using it for exactly that. It's still got fantastic, very heavy duty wired feet for your grapnel. Now, you can choose fine wire, heavy wire, or no wire, depending on, how you like to fish. And up top here, you're gonna see it's got that beautiful little hole there to tie off on. But just let me quickly switch you over to a bit of footage we got of this DaSinker coming across the surface, just so I can show you exactly how it works and what I was meaning. I've just put that rod on auto retrieve, but I just want to point out how well that DaSinker is doing its job. As you can see there, it's clearly just scooting in across the top. And the funny thing was, we actually had a bird chasing it halfway in. All right, well, yeah, look at it come across. It's like a little popper, isn't it? So there you have it, guys. You can see it skipping across the surface. Now, don't for a second think that these are all positives, because there is one thing about this sinker which had me a little bit how you going, and that is the price. The price of these sinkers is up above $20. Now, $20 for a sinker seems like a heck of a lot of money, I know, but I suppose if you put the comparison in of dodging all that reef by having this coast up to the surface quicker, it starts saving you money in the long run. Now, what else do you get with your DaSinker? You get a little tiny bottle like this, which you fill with your favorite oil, and what that bottle's designed to do is to straight into the hole, beautiful, and you get the tape. Now, this tape here is a tape that's designed that once you lay your muley or your bait into the sinker like that, we wrap that tape around it. The thing with this tape here is this, let me show you. Because it's a very interesting type of tape. It's completely biodegradable, it breaks away at a ridiculous rate, and that's all because of the way it's been made. But how do you stick this tape on? Well, you find the end, which is always hard. You break your bit of the sinker tape off like that. Lick it like a stamp. You fold it round the sinker and you clip it together. And look at this. That didn't want to come apart at all. So that's how the tape works. The way you want to design your rig, which is quite opposite to a normal casting sort of situation, is you actually want your sinker line shorter than your hook line, and that's so you've got your belly in your hook line, so there's no resistance on that bait. Okay, and the reason you don't want that resistance on the bait is as you cast it, you don't want the jolt to pull that bait straight out of the sinker. I haven't personally used it a great deal for baits because, well, when I surf cast, I like the old grapnel system. Now, would I say the old grapnel system is superior to this? Absolutely not. This is terrifically designed and super, super durable. But as I said, where this sinker really comes into its own is with the drone fishing. We've used this with the drone now, and I can tell you now that it actually is a very, very good product. And for me to sort of be talking like this about a product that, as I said, is not sponsored and endorsed, should give you the confidence you need to at least give these a go. Anyway, guys, I'll put a link down below in the actual description of where you can find these, and you can work out whether they're right for you. But personally, they're not a bad bit of kit. They work all right. Anyway, guys, there's a sinker review that I promised you on the Dasinker, which is a completely different design to normal. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next episode. See you later.